Today on Rappler. President Marcos says he is open to amending economic provisions of the Constitution. President Marcos extends the deadline for the PUV modernization program to April 30, 2024. A Filipino is killed in what is being called the deadliest day for Israeli soldiers. Joey Salceda claims the charter change signature requirement for a people's initiative has been reached. And the Oscar snubs Greta Gerwig, Margot Robbie, and Leonardo DiCaprio in this year's nominations. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is publicly warming up to the idea of an economic charter change. A year after saying it's not his priority, Marcos says January 23, the 1987 Constitution was not written for a globalized world. We have to adjust so that we can increase the economic activity in the Philippines. In an interview with GMA News, Marcos says he is also not closing doors on amending political provisions in the Constitution, but he would rather have discussions on term limits at a later time. He adds he is open to a discussion on full foreign ownership of corporations, except in critical and strategic areas, such as power generation and media. He also thumbs down foreign ownership of land. The House of Representatives under Speaker Martin Romualdez first started pushing for charter change in January 2023. The Senate rejects this move from the House. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. extends the government's deadline for PUVs to consolidate themselves into cooperatives or corporations by another 3 months. This, after the House of Representatives Committee on Transportation unanimously urged Marcos to extend the January 31 deadline until there is a concrete plan to address the major issues. The lawmakers questioned whether the Department of Transportation and the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board are ready to implement the modernization program. They also raised concerns over transportation disruption by February 1, since unconsolidated jeepneys won't be allowed to ply their routes. LTFRB says it already identified the cooperatives and corporations that can take over the routes being plied by unconsolidated jeepneys. It adds, if there are shortages in routes, permits for the consolidated entities who will assume those routes could be issued within the same day. A 23-year-old Filipino-Israeli soldier is among the 21 Israeli Defense Force personnel who died in a rocket attack while operating in central Gaza on Monday, January 22. The Philippine Embassy in Tel Aviv announced the death of Sergeant First Class Reserves Cedric Garin on Wednesday, January 24. The embassy says Garin's mother is a native of Isabela province who now lives in Tel Aviv, while his father hails from General Santos City. Garin was one of the soldiers who died in what has been called the deadliest day for the Israel military since its war began in October 2023. Meantime, Israel and Hamas are closer to an agreement on a 30-day ceasefire in Gaza, including when Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners would be released. But the two sides remain at odds over how to permanently end the Gaza war, and Hamas has refused to move forward until this is resolved. The collected number of signatures for People's Initiative for Charter Change allegedly already exceeded the required 12% of total registered voters. Albay 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda says this, January 24, despite controversy surrounding the issue. In a separate message to reporters, Salceda claims the total signatures collected account for 12.1% of total registered voters, translating to at least 8 million signatures. The development comes a day after senators released a strongly worded manifesto rejecting the lower chamber's efforts to amend the Constitution through a constituent assembly. House Speaker Martin Romualdez meantime maintains lawmakers in the lower chamber are not involved in the ongoing signature drive calling for constitutional amendments. He also criticizes those who are allegedly offering registered voters cash in exchange for their signatures. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences announces the nominations for the 2024 Academy Awards or the Oscars. Historical biopic Oppenheimer lands 13 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor, and Best Director. While summer blockbuster Barbie lands 8 nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actor for Ryan Gosling, and Best Supporting Actress for America Ferrera. The Academy also announced first-time nominees, including Emily Blunt, Cillian Murphy, Daniel Brooks, and Lily Gladstone, who was the first Native American nominated for Best Actress. Notable snubs include Greta Gerwig for directing, Margot Robbie, and Killers of the Flower Moon star Leonardo DiCaprio for the leading actor categories. Meantime, Ryan Gosling laments the lack of nominations of his co-star and director, saying there is no Barbie without Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie. The 96 Academy Awards will be announced live from Hollywood on March 10. And that's today's wrap. I'm Kara Oliver. Thank you for watching. Click the link below for the full story. Follow us on Rappler's YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok.